Hey guys, it's Rye here, Bull City Speed. I'm a little down. It's raining. I'm kind of mourning the loss of a friend. Rusty Wallace, aka Matt LeBronc, aka Bronchitis, is no longer with us here at Bull City Speed. I sold him, and I'm not really sure how to feel about that. This is so tough. This is really hard.
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
I'm sorry. What's up, guys? It's Rye here, Bull City Speed, bringing you a massive update on what is going on in the life of Rye and Bull City Speed and everything in between. So we're going to talk project updates. We're going to talk new companies coming on board with us. We're going to talk a little bit more about life in general and what is the true meaning of it, which is the endless pursuit of speed and more horsepower and impressing people that you don't know with money that you don't really have. At least that's what it's all about for me. Oh yeah, and family. So, as many of you know, if you didn't catch on, you saw the video of me crying my eyes out on social media there. Kind of had to say goodbye to an old friend. Rusty Wallace is no longer with us here at Bull City Speed. He has moved on to a new owner, to greener pastures, if you will.
Bye, Felicia.
But, you know, when there's a hole in your heart, sometimes you gotta fill it. And sometimes it's kind of a big hole, and you gotta shove a big old thing in that hole, like that. Check that out. 2000 Silverado Z71 regular cab short bed pickup. This is my new daily driver and the new project here at Bull City Speed, as if two ongoing projects wasn't enough, plus everybody else's stuff that I'm always working on. I decided to add one more to the pile. But hey, whatever. This thing is awesome. I'm super stoked on it. 260,000 miles, kind of high, but it drives fantastic. A little bit of rust in the rockers and a little bit of rust over the bedside. We'll take care of that. It's pretty simple. It's nothing crazy. The patch panels are stupid cheap for this thing. It drives really, really well. It is a 2000, so it's got like the paper head gaskets on it. It's a Gen 3 5.3. Not going to set the world on fire with it, and honestly the amount of miles on it makes me not really care about what happens to that motor too much. But the 4L60 in it shifts really good for now, knock on wood. I'm pretty sure it's been gone through at one point or another. It feels kind of like it might have a shift kit in it even. The interior, let's check this out, leaves a little bit to be desired, but for the price I paid for the truck, I'm not complaining too much, and the prices on these things are not getting any cheaper. So the headliner obviously needs to get redone. The seats don't have any stains in it. It drives super nice. The dash isn't cracked. You remember when Chevy did this stupid thing? Like, it looks like they put a Game Boy in the dash. Anyway, electronic transfer case. It just needs a good shampoo and descuzzing and then the whole thing. And it also needs a new seat. I don't know how much the guy before the dude I bought it from weighed, but he did a number on this thing. Look, like, you shouldn't be able to do that. Snap the seat bracket completely off. So, find new seats, clean the interior up on it, fix a little bit of rust down here, and then a little bit of rust down here in the rockers, no big deal. Under the hood, it's clean, everything works. I gotta put an AC compressor on it, and that's it. This is my new daily driver, man. This thing is sweet. And I'm gonna leave it alone for the most part. Gonna completely stock. Just gonna not do anything to it. Oh shoot. Yeah, let's not talk about that. No, seriously, I have an entire nitrous kit laying around. I've thought about that route. I have a 66mm BorgWarner turbo and an intercooler laying around. I've thought about that route.
¿Por qué no los dos?
I kind of like the idea of, I call it almost like a GTR with a bed, you know what I mean? 4 high launches on Firestone all-terrains. Like, how sweet would that be? You guys remember, I fell in love with these trucks when, back in the day, like early 2000s, on 1320 Video, they used to film that dude Parrish when he had a Z71, like a 2004 with a turbo on it. And the thing, I think he punched it all the way down in the 9s by the time he finally got rid of it. But it's funny how life comes around full circle. I love that truck. And then I became friends with the guy who tuned that truck, Scott Clark. We do the podcast, Real Tuners, together. So now I'm friends with Scott. And then I ended up with one. So it's kind of like, hey, I hit him up. I was like, hey, man, you ready? Parrish 2.0, let's do this. So we'll see what happens. Whatever is going to happen with it, it's going to be budget. It's going to be cheap. And it's got to be reliable because I'm going to drive it every day. But in the event that it doesn't hold me up and take me to work when I need to, that's all right, because we got this bad boy up and running. Yeah, the C10 is back. Ignore the boxes all over the ground there. I've been doing some home improvements. The C10 is back, up and running. Put his 700 R4 in this thing, and it cruises fantastic. The carburetor needs a little bit of work, but that's okay, because we're doing this. Check this out. This is a 2004 4.8 liter. The guy thought it was a 5.3. I bought it for the lowly sum of $350. That's right, not everybody out there with an LS motor thinks that they have a full-on race engine. And you can still find them relatively cheap, which is awesome. So what we've done with it, this thing was complete. Intake to oil pan, fan to flex plate, harness, computer, everything, $350. So what I've done in this, I've already stuck a cam in it that I've had sitting on the shelf specifically for the C10, and then I've gone to town trying to make this thing. I want to take it from 2004 to 1974. So we have put ICT billet valve cover adapters on here to adapt it to old school small block Chevy stamped steel covers, and I'm basically doing everything black and orange. It does pain me a little bit to paint aluminum heads. I feel like that's kind of a but when this is all said and done, it's gonna look like it's from 1974. That's the goal anyway. Try to find a good intake that looks like a carbureted intake. I have an oil pan for it sitting in the back of the truck. I have a whole bunch of accessories. We're gonna run a GTO power steering pump on it. I gotta get a crank pulley for it. I gotta paint the water pump and stick that on there. This, dude, $27. So I'm up to my ears in LS stuff right now between this motor, the spare parts I got laying around in here, plus this car. Still without an engine. I understand, it sucks, but it's back. Yes, well, not back, that's the new one. I got it from the machine shop earlier this week. That is a 4.010 bore, Generation 4, 6-liter block. And then we have a whole bunch of goodies to fill it with. ARP studs, Compstar rods, wide-scope pistons, new cam, brand new bearings, everything. So crank is right there, fresh, balanced. We are going to get this thing hopefully bolted together here in the next few weeks because there's some cool stuff coming up here. Obviously, drag week is coming up really soon, so I want to start testing for drag week as soon as possible. I don't want to start getting ready for that late. I don't want to be late to that game. So I got a lot on my plate, and it's all my own stuff, and I keep trying to take on other people's stuff too. But, you know, I love doing it. What can I say? You know, what do you want to do about it? Other changes going on with this car, with my Mustang. I am selling the 4L80. Everybody's been telling me, get rid of the 4L80, get rid of the 4L80, and I was like, no, I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to work through these bugs and issues that I've been having. All the while knowing that I am leaving a lot of potential on the table, that I could go faster with a glide, power glide, a TH400, or even a turbo glide if I could find something within a reasonable price range. And I started researching what 4L80s sell for and when they're built like mine is, and I think that I can sell this and come out even if not on top a little bit by switching to a 400. The biggest reason I want to make that switch, I feel like I'm throwing in the towel a little bit on it, but the biggest reason for the change is on drag week, everybody's running a 400 or a glide, and there are people that run 4L80s, I'm sure. But if I have issues, which it's drag week, and you're bound to have some sort of an issue. If I have an issue with a 400 or a glide, 99.9% chance I can find the spare parts to fix that. The 4L80, the majority of the parts in that thing are factory. They're OEM. That thing is a tank it's a beast from the factory. But I figured out in this last go around when I went through and freshened it up that the dealers don't have those parts sitting on the shelf because that transmission isn't produced anymore. So you have to wait 7 days. So even though it does have that OEM replenishability, the amount of time that it takes to replenish the parts that you've worn out or destroyed in that thing is not conducive to what I'm trying to do with drag week. So in order to facilitate my ability to beg, borrow, or steal parts from my competitors and friends that I make along the way, I've decided to let the 4L80 go and switch to a 400. That's the biggest reason. And then second biggest reason is I'm gonna go faster with the 400. I think the gearing's a little bit better, the parasitic loss is less, the converter will be much better. So if you know anybody that's looking for a badass 4L80E, hit me up, let me know in the comments, and I'll send you links to the for sale ads. That's the converter as well. It's a beast of a converter. I got a lot of money wrapped up into it, but it just makes sense. Trying to go, I hate using the phrase, but max effort with this, and I'm tired of leaving stuff on the table, and I want to put this car in the time zone, the elapsed time zone, where it really deserves to be. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm Ryan with Bull City Speed. Please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. All my stuff here on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I will be giving away tools here shortly, so please make sure you stay tuned to that. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram to make sure you get all the updates on that. Make sure you click notifications, turn those on. And if you can think of a name for this thing, let me know. Put it in the comments. I'm trying to figure that one out. I'm kind of stumped by it. I do like the idea of GTR with a bed. We'll see what's up with it. And as always, I'm Ryan with Bull City Speed. And I'm going to try and figure out what I want to drive today. And I'm out. Peace.